Hey Sainers, welcome back to the round 19 review on Saints TV. Put your thoughts in the comments as well, what you thought about the game. I am just outside GMHBA, drove down, sat in the cheer squad, awesome experience. Even though we lost by 31 points, cheer squad was very vocal, up and about in patches of the game. And that is really the summary really. Cats 5-0 very quickly, although we kind of came out of the blocks in that first 3 or 4 minutes. Jack still had a chance, couldn't make the distance, and they went up the other end multiple times, capitalized every single time. They owned the zone that was like center 25 out. It just felt like every time the long ball went in, they were taking a mark and capitalizing, and that is why they kicked 9 goals straight to start the game in the first quarter and a half. It was, great set shots, but it was the area that we were giving up, which was just, the easiest place for them to kick those goals. But to our credit, and it is, Groundhog Day in a way, where we just didn't go away. We didn't go away. We kept peppering. We kept pressuring. I think I read somewhere, I don't know if this is bullshit, but our pressure rating got up to about 268 in that second quarter, which is absolutely absurd. If that's true, I'm not too sure. But it did feel like that at the ground, that there were, long periods in that second quarter where we were dominant and without really getting, dominant in the way that we were just owning the ball, owning the pressure. Geelong didn't have any easy outs. But the most disappointing thing is that was our best quarter, and it was 5-4, I think, our way, where if you want to be on top, you can't be outscoring by 1 goal. You need to be bridging the gap a little bit more than that, especially if you give up the first 5 goals of the game. But I can't, the effort, we don't even need to talk about effort today. It's really just bigger bodies, more efficient, finals bound team, 31 points. That's what separates us. The forward line worked a little bit better. I thought the midfield was pretty good today. We won, I think, most of the key stats in that area, contested ball and clearances, I think, for the most part. Naz through the guts. Wow. The guy's an absolute freak. That Rove, I still can't get that out of my head. That Rove breakaway and then hitting it at full tilt to Sharman, who then kicks the goal, was incredible. I think I said when it happened, I said that is disgustingly brilliant. It's that good, atrociously brilliant. I don't know if that's even kind of contradictory to each other, but that's how I saw it. It was that good, filthy good. And he was the best player on the ground by an absolute mile, 36-2. No wonder we haven't signed him yet. It's because he keeps putting in performances like this that just make his salary go up even more and more. Why would he have signed it 4 weeks ago if he can demand another 100k based off performances like these? It was a masterful performance by him. The backline looked a bit at sea at times. It just didn't quite work. Sinclair, Hasty, Burns, that trio there, they got us out the back multiple times because all 3 of them aren't the most defensively minded players. And we were playing Naz up the ground, so that just meant anytime we're trying to kick it out and get it out of the back line, we didn't have Naz there to do it, which just meant that we were relying on, they're not bad kicks, but we're just relying on players that obviously aren't as good at field kicking as a Naz. Not many people are, so that kind of just hurt us a little bit. We turned it over at key points, but anytime the game looked like it was getting a little bit out of reach, we found a way to kick a goal. I kind of don't know what might have happened if Mitch had have kicked that goal early in the fourth, where he took that great contested mark. He was brutal today, in the best kind of brilliant way. That goal, I think it was, I can't remember who kicked that goal. Was it Naz? Early in the fourth, where he beat 2 Geelong players just to get it out and Naz socketed it in. That's the stuff that Mitch Owens does that can go unnoticed, and it is just brutal football, tough football. He left a few goals on the board there for himself today and deserved probably bigger output on that front. But I can't question anything else there. And Sharman kicked a great goal at the end of the game, which is great, but also really annoying because he had a chance, I think, in the third where we broke away and he would normally go back and kick it, but he hesitated. Higo was over the top, took too long. Higo was manned up. And then I think he goes short to Naz and he doesn't hit the kick and we turn it over from that point. And it's a set shot. Mason Wood as well. Took a mark, I think, in the fourth. Tries to hit Max Hall in the middle. Misses him. So those sort of decisions we need to just kind of phase out, because they're really, really critical, in a game like that, where you take your chance, you take the 30 seconds, and if you don't kick the goal, you have a chance to set it up and lock the ball in. But if you turn it over, everyone's setting up for a shot, so they're not prepared, and it just goes up the other end and they capitalise. And Jeremy Cameron kicked his 5. Apart from that, it was good to see Taru up forward, although his set shot wasn't great. Max Hall was pretty strong again. Not his best game, but definitely got going as it went on. And Jack Steele, got to credit Jack Steele. Apart from his set shot early that didn't make the distance, his game was similar to last week, back to his sort of tough best, really physical. I think he was our second rated player on the ground behind Naz. Fair way behind, mind you, but he was definitely really active in the game. McRae as well. So, it's just one of those things where you just look in 12 months' time, you put a TDK in this team, and Marshall looked good forward, by the way. You put TDK in, you put Lee Kalir in, you get a fit Max King, you get a fit Mateus. That's a pretty good team, I like the brand we're playing. That's what I'm noticing, is the shift in the brand. The last 5 weeks, it's been absolutely consistent. There's not one section of the last 5 weeks where anyone, even outside of St Kilda, can say, Ross is playing typical Ross ball. Nah, we're definitely adapting the way we play. It's definitely more fluid, more play on. It is more prone to errors, because I think we're trying to bite off those kicks in the guts. Like, we avoided the wings pretty well today. We went through the corridor on a number of occasions to great success. So did the Cats, obviously, but I liked that we didn't just succumb to going long down the line, because that's how Geelong gets you. They just want you to turn it over. Blixarves, Tom Stewart behind the ball, Reece Stanley, Sam de Koning, these sort of guys, they just eat that up and then they get you the other way. But for the most part, I thought we challenged the Cats. I don't think their supporters thought they were going to lose the game, just because it's at GMHBA and it's been a while since that happened, against St Kilda. But I think there were patches in that game we were absolutely in it and highly competitive. And in another 12 months, maybe things will look a little bit different. But from today, same as the last 4 weeks, which isn't a bad thing in terms of, it's the same. The disappointing thing is we didn't get the win, but the method, the style, and it's also the fact that we never gave up, and we haven't done that in 5 weeks. Since the Bulldogs game, there's not been a moment where, when it's got tough, we've backed out of it. We've kind of lifted for it. And I think that's a great foundation. It's just the icing that is lacking. And we are missing those pieces in the team. But we are looking to rectify that, whether it's getting players back from injury or it's free agency and bringing players from other clubs in, that hopefully will be able to bridge that gap between, say, Geelong and that 5-goal difference that they kind of kept that all day. But, don't think we lose any fans here. I don't think any... I'd be surprised, honestly, to see Sainers in the comments going absolutely off after that performance. I think it was looking ugly, but then we just pulled it in. And then they got a way out, and then we pulled it in again. So, still huge improvements, but 5 goals away to the Cats. I really thought maybe we could put something in special and get the win. I just had a weird feeling, but after that start, when you're chasing, like, against anyone, it just makes it so difficult. When you're behind the 8 ball, not by a couple, but by 5 goals, 30-0 or whatever it was, I think 30-1. That is such a tough task against a team that doesn't let you really get on a roll. They don't really let you get on a 3, 4, 5 goal run, the Cats. And they were just efficient. So that was the difference. They took their chances when they had them. Even when we had 20-meter shots, we missed them, and they had on-the-run snaps, and they were just getting them. So classier, obviously more experienced, and they've got the know-how. We don't quite have that yet, and that's the only downside to going this long without a win is, you don't want the players to start forgetting what's that like. So hopefully we've got Melbourne, I think we've got North, Richmond, Essendon or something in a row. We've gone through 5 top 8 teams now, a couple of top 4s. Now we've got the teams that are around us and below us. So these sort of honourable loss reviews, I'm hoping they're done. I'm hoping now we can go into lock in be angry that we haven't got a win in these 5 weeks. We've been pretty good. I think we've deserved at least 1 or 2 wins in this stretch. We haven't got them. Saners, be pissed off about it. The players, be pissed off. Take it personally, and let's come out next week against the D's and get a win, because it's these next 4 weeks, we're either 50-50 or we're favourites based on form. Even without the win, I think our form has been pretty strong. So put it in the comments, Saners. Let me know how you're feeling. I've got a long drive back home. Credit to the Saners that turned out today. It was actually a beautiful day in Geelong. Their fans weren't as hostile as I was expecting. Maybe it would have been worse if we had got pants by 10-15 goals. But we put in a shift, and their fans haven't really thrown any shade my way, which is nice. And hopefully it's a pretty cruisy drive home. But hate this place, but I also have to credit they are a pretty well-run club, even though the AFL might help them out every now and then. But they did what they needed to do. Experienced sides do that, and that's exactly what they did. But we are building, and we will continue to do that. So thank you very much for watching, Saners. I've got my 5 things, which will be out either tonight if I've got time, or definitely tomorrow afternoon, and obviously the podcast and Saints TV Weekly as well. So thanks again. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I think we're pushing to 15k. Be great to hit it very soon. And Cal Wilkin is 150th. Congratulations again, mate. I thought he'd put in a pretty good performance himself in his 150th milestone game. So take care, Saners. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and as always, go Mighty Saners. See you guys.